Hello and welcome to Under the Covers with Lachie and Andrew. I'm Lachie.
And I'm Andrew, and we're starting a podcast, which is really exciting.
This is our first episode, obviously.
The pilot episode, probably not going to be very good.
So maybe to kick it off, we should just introduce yourself. But I think it would be a little more entertaining if, Andrew, you'll go first.
Okay.
And introduce yourself like you're on a dating website. Like it's your dating website page.
You're assuming I don't have one.
eHarmony or Christian Singles? Why not both?
Yeah. No comment. Okay. Andrew Harris, 18, single. Obviously, that's why I'm on here. Straight. So don't get any ideas, anyone.
Anyone? I'm straight, but I also want women to know not to get any ideas.
Yep. My hobbies include drinking coffee, hanging out with girls.
In that order?
Yep.
Does it always have to
at
come
the
in
same time?
So is it like you drink coffee and then the girls just come to you?
They smell it.
They smell the beans. Andrew's drinking coffee again.
I'll roast your beans. Yeah. Anyway, so that'll be my dating Is there anything else you need on a profile? And a photo? Probably.
Yeah, what photo would you use?
Probably a topless mirror shot.
It's a backward snapback.
Me flexing my muscles.
Well, it's a podcast, so they can't see it.
Well, for those of you who can't see, which is everyone.
It's got massive muscles.
Massive. Yeah. I used to be incredibly overweight. And then I went on The Biggest Loser. I'm ripped.
Would you put all this on your dating website?
No, I'd tell them.
In the little bio section. I used to be on The Biggest Loser. I'm practically a celebrity.
I'd tell them on the first date.
On the first
Okay,
date.
enough about me. I'm being too indulgent. Lachie.
Do you want to know about me?
What's your dating profile, Matt?
I think it would go a little something like Lachie Clarke, 17, still at school, but still living life to the fullest. XOXO.
Right.
And then a couple emojis. Maybe like, I don't know, like the heart eye emojis.
Yep.
And a couple maybe wave emojis to show that I like the water.
Yep. So why did you say it like that? What was
And
with
trees.
that tone of voice? What was
I
that?
just feel like when people would read my profile, that's how they'd read the voice. Would be like, Lachie, 17.
I feel as though when I visualize your dating profile, I see Comic Sans.
Yeah, but people would still visualize it like... With Comic Sans, would you read Comic Sans like, Lachie, 17?
No, that's how I read Windings.
Or Comic Sans would be more like, Lachie, 17,
Yeah.
living life to the fullest.
Yeah. If you want to have any sense of honor in the world, stick to Times New Roman.
I suggest everyone writes their resume in Comic Sans and they'll automatically get the job.
That's us.
That's us.
So this podcast is called Under the Covers. We should probably tell you why, and it's because we're actually under Lachie Clarke's bed covers recording right now.
In my very own bedroom.
Yep.
In my bed, in my bedroom.
Yep. It's a very nice bed. Am I the first one to be in it?
You're the first one to be recorded in it.
That's good. Yep.
Just mates, usually. Always.
Mates.
I shouldn't say usually.
Mates.
There's never anyone else other than mates.
So mates in inverted commas or mates?
Just mates.
Just mates.
It's just because if they sleep over, it's just much easier than getting a mattress and putting it on the floor. Just, hey mate, hop into my bed with me.
Okay, so you're sleeping with your mate. What position do you assume?
Well, you got to go with the classic spoon.
Yes, you do. Actually, I agree with you on that. Are you the big or the little?
I'm the big always because I'm the biggest.
Because you're
friends.
a man.
I'm like a bear.
You're a man.
See, I've only gone little spoon once, and it just felt awkward.
It is a bit weird.
I felt like I was being attacked by a small child from behind.
Yeah, it's weird being the little spoon. I feel as though as a dude, we just have to be the big spoon.
It's the social norm, not written anywhere, but it's the normality of life.
But it's really awkward, isn't it? I hate big spooning because
How about you just list off 3 things that you hate about big spooning?
Okay.
Number 1.
Usually, if you're spooning a girl, you get a face full of hair.
Yep. Not a guy, because all guys are bald, apparently.
Yep.
Number 2.
Yep. The dead arm. You know, you're required to act as their pillow.
Yeah.
Right, because their actual pillow isn't good enough.
And so you got to slide that arm under.
Yeah.
And just
slide it under.
Where do you go? Do you go the head or do you go in the neck? Or do you go
head? I'm not a
shoulder
strangler. Head.
But like, oh yeah, no, that works.
Yeah.
I'm just trying it out on myself at the moment. Is what I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah, it works. And number 3, the final one.
The worst.
The worst?
A certain rush of blood to a certain area of the body that you can't control. I can't.
Is that when spooning males and females?
Look, it's a natural human phenomenon.
Why don't we just say it happens after you've drunk a bit of coffee?
A bit of coffee, couple of girls.
Couple of girls. Back to my place. No, ladies, all I want to do is spoon you.
Yep.
Let's not get too serious. Just a nice cuddle and a spoon.
Yep, exactly.
Do you have you ever been in a spoon train?
Yes, I have.
Where just everyone's spooning each other?
Yep.
What's that like?
It's like a really gross sandwich, and you're like the weird ham in the middle.
Well, so you go in the middle?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's pretty weird.
Just bodies against bodies, ain't nothing better.
Yep. Anyway, I'm looking around your room here.
Yeah. Well,
right.
do you want to get into the new game, or not the new game because it's our first episode, just the game that was started. So, seeing we're in my bedroom, I have a lot of just random stuff laying around. I collect just junk, and so I've set Andrew the task of finding something in my room that he wants to know more about.
So I'm walking. Actually, no, I'm going to use this. I've just seen this. It's okay. I've got it. I don't even know how to describe this.
It's a questionable choice.
Okay, it's for people at home. So everyone except us two. It's a doll. It's a baby doll.
Yeah.
It's genderless.
Yes.
There's no sexual
Gender
organs.
neutral.
That's enough. I don't know why you have this.
Can I hold it?
No, you can't.
I just
actually.
want to see because
all right.
There's a few markings on it. I know this is quite a recent one. It's got a bottom with two oddly placed dimples.
It does actually. Nice buns.
Nice buns. This is made in China.
Oh, okay.
And its eyes. So if you go like this, its eyes actually.
True. Okay. Well, why do you actually have it? Why is it in your room?
You can hear that.
It was on your desk.
It wasn't on my actual desk. It was on like the little top bit of my desk, the shelf of my desk. I have it because it's from. I do drama at school.
Oh, you do drama.
No surprises there.
Yep.
And
you must get bullied a lot.
all the time.
Yep.
And
not a joke.
Even at home.
Okay.
Moving on. And we did an ensemble piece for our drama. Yep. And we one time when rehearsing at school, we went into the costume room and we found this doll, and it became sort of like our mascot.
Okay.
And the whole plan was like one of us would take it home, and then the next day the other person would take it home, and then the next day someone else would take it home, and then I was left with it.
And you forgot to bring it back.
No, well, I was left with it after the performance, which was on a night. And so they gave it to me, so I was like, I'll take it home, and then I just, never brought it back.
Okay. You thought, okay.
So
I could adopt a sexless baby doll.
A sexless baby. Well, it's not... Well, I didn't steal it. I'm just borrowing it.
You just bought it for free.
Bought it for free.
You took it.
I'll give it back eventually.
Yeah, awesome. Well, look forward to more segments of this game.
Do you like its hair? Its hair is just molded. It's the same color of its skin.
You know what? We're going to post a photo of this doll on our Facebook pages. Probably, unless it gets removed. What's its name?
Dimitri. It actually does have a name, Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Because in our ensemble, we had Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
And he had a sidekick named Dimitri. And
Alrighty.
so they just named... And I played Dimitri. And so they just named this Dimitri.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the story of Dimitri.
Chubby arms, chubby
hands.
hands.
He actually does.
So we're recording in Melbourne. I've lived in Melbourne most of my life.
I've lived in Melbourne the whole of my life.
And something that people may not know about Melbourne, I thought it was quite well known. Some people may not know. It's been voted for the past couple of years the world's most livable city.
Yep. Just got voted again this week. owned Stockholm, number 2 again.
Number 2 again. So they've been waiting for a while.
They've been waiting for Melbourne to fall off, but we just ain't.
We're still up there.
Yep.
And you know what would make Melbourne better, I think? And I think it would secure us the spot.
Yep.
24-hour public transport.
Well, that is coming in the start of next year, which is really exciting. It's a great new thing. I think like I love Melbourne, but I just think if one of the criteria for most livable city was, you know, the punctuality of public transport, you know, we'd be so low. Like I'm like 187th behind like Rwanda.
Is Rwanda even a place?
Yeah, it's a country in Africa. Has no traffic lights.
And we'd be below them.
Well, it's anarchy in Rwanda. I've never been there. Never will.
I reckon we'd be off the list. I reckon they'd just cut us off.
We'd be like, yeah.
They'd just be like, sorry, Australia, you're not even a real place anymore.
No.
The thing I love about public transport, though, in Melbourne, is the weirdos.
One for each tram. It's like they're assigned.
It's funny. It's funny watching them. It is.
It really is.
It sounds kind of mean saying that, but it is kind of funny watching them.
Yeah.
Especially if they're yelling, but not the yelling that's makes you scared and like they're going to stab you.
Yeah.
The yelling that's just sort of just for a bit of a laugh.
Yep, definitely.
And their headquarters, Swanston Street Macca's.
The HQ.
Out the front.
Yep.
Sometimes inside.
Yep.
I've got a story of I was in Swanston Street Macca's quite late at night, and this guy just walks over to this group of girls, takes his shirt off, and just goes, "You like what you see?" And they're just like, "No." And he goes, "Oh, all right." And just puts his shirt back on and walks off.
When was this?
A couple months ago, maybe last year.
All right, you didn't recognise me.
Oh. See, if I known it was you, I would have come and joined you.
Exactly.
Did you get any girls that night?
No, the McCafe wasn't open.
It's a good one.
It was.
But you have a story about you went into Macca's.
I was in Macca's already there, and there was another guy came in who, you know, he looked quite scary. I was with a friend. We were both quite scared, and he was talking and he was shouting. It was a bit weird, and he walked up to the counter. We thought, what's going to happen? And he went over to the napkin dispenser, pulled out a napkin very theatrically, just dabbed his mouth and walked out. Very anticlimactic.
Well, maybe that's what he was angry about.
Yep.
Oh, I've got all this stuff on my face. Oh, napkins.
Free napkins from Macca's.
Free water from Macca's as well.
Yep.
But if you ask for it, you have to ask for ice as well if you want it cold.
Yep.
And then they always make a massive fuss out of it. She's like, "Yeah, can I have ice with that free water?" And they're like, "Fine."
Yep. They got a bit of a mouth on them.
It's a whole nother story if you ask for a large cup as well.
Yep.
They lose it.
Yep. You know who lost it during the week?
Who?
Do you know Nick Kyrgios?
Tennis player?
I know you don't like sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Kyrgios, for those of you who don't know, Australian tennis player, really good. Couple of behavioural issues, but
quite
you know,
arrogant, is he?
We're all kids. Yeah, he is. He's quite arrogant. He's in the news this week for he was playing a tennis player, quite well known tennis player, Stan Wawrinka, and he was losing, and he did a bit of a sledge, took it a bit too far. There's another young Australian tennis player called Thanasi Kokkinakis.
Brilliant name.
Great name. He's nicknamed the Cock.
I can see why.
K-O-K-K.
Okay.
Okay, the Cock. Okay, the Cock. And anyway, Kyrgios was losing, and he sledged Wawrinka. He said, quote, "Kokkinakis banged your girlfriend."
And was Kokkinakis at the game?
No, but I had this vision that Kokkinakis was at home with his girlfriend.
Oh.
And it got very awkward.
So, you banged his girlfriend, did you? No, honey, it's just Kyrgios
It's just Nick being a tosser. So we're talking about Nick Kyrgios before and his sledging, and I guess we can both relate to that. We both dabble in a bit of stand-up comedy.
We can relate to it in the sense of hecklers. Can't relate to it in the sense of sledging. Because it's not like a good old game of stand-up comedy, my boy.
No, not like that.
Not like that. I've never really been heckled. I've seen people get heckled. I've watched videos of people getting heckled.
Good videos, yep.
Just to know that if I do get heckled, I need to know what to do.
Yep.
Haven't come across it yet. The closest I've been to getting heckled was basically the first gig I did out of Class Clowns. Class Clowns is when I started doing comedy, and this was like a couple days after that.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Class Clowns, comedy competition run by the Melbourne International Comedy Festival for 14 to 18-year-olds. Amazing.
Great program.
Program.
Gave me my start, gave me your start. You know, so if you're in that age range and, you know, really want to just get up in front of tons of people and make a fool of yourself.
A good fool, though.
A great fool.
Check that out. So, yeah, I was doing this gig, and it was a couple days after the Class Clowns final, and so I hadn't done really any other gigs. And the room was practically empty. It was a nice room.
Empty.
It was empty. It was a Wednesday night. I knew.
That's why it was empty, was it? The day of the week. That's your new
I'm going to blame it on that.
Yep.
It was there was 11 people there. I knew 8 out of 11 people there.
Yeah.
They were either friends or family. But there was these 3 people that I didn't know.
Yeah.
3 people were a young couple, and they're what I thought was about a 5-year-old child.
Yep.
All dressed up. Like they were going somewhere nice and then thought, nah, we'll just go to a comedy show.
Go see some 15-year-old voice with a
high voice telling mediocre jokes.
Great night out. And
I'd like to say as well, before I tell the rest of the story, a very inappropriate place to bring a 5-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
So I was doing this gig. I was halfway through my set, and I'm telling this joke, one of my first jokes that I wrote, and it's about how when I turned 15, my mum let me do a bunch of new stuff, and she gave me the talk, and in the talk she told me how the Easter Bunny wasn't real, blah, 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 blah. I pretended to cry on stage like a true thespian. And I finished this joke, and I'm about to move on to the next one. People are laughing, thankfully, and suddenly I just hear, excuse me, and I look down, and it's the mum of the kid.
Oh no, I see okay.
And I go, yeah, what's up? And she goes, my son here still doesn't know that the Easter Bunny isn't real, and you've ruined that for him.
You are a horrible person.
And I'm standing there, and because this is, well, one, I've only just started comedy, so I wasn't experienced for someone to yell out at me. And so I didn't know what to do. So I'm standing there going, do I reply? Do I like keep going with my set? What do I do? And eventually I'm one of those people, I'll say whatever comes to my mind. I'll say and do the first thing I think of.
Oh no.
And the first thing I thought of for me was to kneel down in front of this 5-year-old kid.
I don't like this.
Put my hand on his shoulder and be like, don't worry, mate. Santa isn't real either. And stand back up, and then
you said that you actually those words came out of your mouth.
100% true story,
dude.
I stood back up and just finished my set like nothing happened.
So you literally ruined that kid's childhood.
I crushed this kid's dreams.
How do you sleep at night?
Very comfortably.
No, but like that guilt that must hang over you.
I dream about it every night.
Murder is bad, but that is just
horrible.
A whole nother
But
level.
I've started a new business after that.
What?
So basically, I'll be sitting at home and I'll get a call, and it'll be a mum. She'll be like, yes, look, I'm running low on money, and I need you to tell my son that Tooth Fairy, not real. I can't pay him anymore. I'm like, hey, no worries, lady. I've got this. Put me onto the kid. Hello. That was a horrible kid voice.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Hello? Bad kid voice as well.
It's all right,
anyway, puts me onto the kid, and I'll be like, I'm not even going to bother finishing this joke. I tell the kids that things aren't real.
Okay, so you break it to them the hard way.
I break it to them the hard way.
Yeah.
I say, but you always got to start off with, don't worry, kid. Don't worry, kid.
Don't worry.
Because that way they're in a sense of not worrying already.
Right, so for any listeners who want to crush the dreams of a young one, call up
Lachie
Clarke.
So that's my story of heckling in inverted commas.
Okay, so we're trading stories.
Well, do you have any heckler stories, or do you have like any other stories where you've been taken aback a bit?
Actually, Tuesday, I was out. I was trying to. I was going out to a club.
Wow,
because I'm 18.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. So I was in the line. Got up to the front, showed the bouncer my ID, as you do, and he looked at it. He looked at my face and he went, "Nup."
Just nup.
He went, "Nup," and I went, "What?" He said, "That's not you." I said, look at my face. It's me.
I don't want... And the thing, for those who don't know you, and I don't want this to come off rude, but you've got quite a unique face.
What do you mean?
Not a unique face, but like I've never met someone else who looks like you.
Is that a
That's a I
compliment
don't know if that's
or a...
take it as you
I'll take it as a compliment.
And continue.
I mean, the other thing is, like, you know... Yeah, I'll be honest. You know, my face, I look a lot younger than I actually am.
So you've got quite a dirty mo going on as well.
I do, but it's a baby face, right? And you know, I do struggle with my ID and everything. Anyway, so the bouncer said, you know, do you have anything else? So I had my Mikey concession card, and I showed him that. I was like, it's the same face, and he went, "Nup." I mean, he didn't have a very expansive vocabulary.
Just nup.
Just nup. Anyway, so he said, do you have anything else? I only had one more card. It was my Commonwealth Bank card, which had my full name on it. Same name as all the other cards. And still, you know what he said?
Nup.
Nup, right? So he took me upstairs. Okay.
Oh, this got...
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Not what you think.
I'll continue.
He took my cards, took me upstairs to the bar. So I got in, but I was with the bouncer, and he...
You could have just run off. How many people were there?
1, 2, 3, about 4.
So you couldn't have lost yourself in the crowd?
No.
All right.
No. Anyway, and he gave me a piece of paper and a pen, and he went, right. Now, do your signature for me 5 times. Well, I don't usually sign my signature very much. Haven't hit that kind of level of fame yet. Anyway, so I signed it away, and I sort of knew my signature, and anyway, did that. He looked at it, looked at the signature, and went, oh, that's you. You're Andrew. I went, yep. And he went...
I'm glad he addressed you by your name and not just, oh, that's you.
Yeah.
I'm glad he went, oh, that's you. You're Andrew. Like he was happy to see you. Like your old friends. Ah, Andrew. We went to school together.
Yeah. So anyway, I got in. I had a good time with the other 4 people there. So...
See, I wouldn't think that clubs are your type of thing.
Really?
Because I don't think they serve coffee at the... So how do you get the girls?
Well, usually we go for afters at Starbucks.
We're thinking about the club that's next to the Starbucks.
Yep.
Okay, so you just
that one.
A cheeky pop in there.
Yep, cheeky pop in.
And just straight back into the club.
Yep.
See, I've got a business idea for you.
Okay.
Take it or leave it.
All right. Well, your business idea of crushing childhood dreams.
It's blooming. Booming.
Okay. It'll be better than that.
Blooming and booming.
Okay.
This idea. So instead of always having to drink coffee to attract girls, why don't you create a cologne? Like Lynx has chocolate, you can have coffee. Coffee cologne.
Coffee cologne.
You can have like the different types of coffee.
Yeah. Like
couple of sprays before you leave the house.
He's wearing latte today.
Oh, is that a mocha?
Yeah. So you reckon business plan?
I reckon you should definitely try it. Unless I take it before you and make money off it.
Yep.
If it works, I'm gonna sue you. If it doesn't work, have no association.
I'll see what I can do with that. But yeah, cool. So out of this show, we've both now got business ideas.
That's pretty good.
Brilliant.
So if the podcast doesn't work, bang, we know what
businesses,
what to do.
Or bouncers.
Yeah, or bouncers. In conclusion, I think it's been a pretty good episode.
Yeah, pretty good for our first pilot episode. Thanks to all who clicked on the link and who are still listening at this point.
You're the true warriors.
Yeah, I mean, you've wasted... No, that's the wrong word.
Don't say wasted, because then they won't come back.
You've enjoyed,
hopefully
20 or so minutes of your life. So thank you. Thank you a lot for listening.
Also, we're going to keep doing this.
No, this isn't just a one-off thing.
This isn't a one-off thing.
It's not like we've bought all this equipment for one episode.
All this equipment makes it sound like we're in a radio station or something.
We're not. We're on a bed. But put it in your diaries. Hang on. A diary is still a thing?
I don't use one. I don't own one.
Okay, well, write it on your hand. Put it in your phone. September 13
is our next episode.
Second episode. Hopefully we'll be back and better than ever.
I'll be there.
I will be there as well.
That's good.
Yep.
Don't know what we're talking about yet.
No, but we need to plan that.
It's going to be good. In the meantime, though, you can rewatch this, or you can go like our Facebook pages. Mine's Lachie Clarke -comedian.
Oh, got the hyphen. Okay, I don't have any punctuation. Mine's just Andrew Harris Comedy. So
just the classic.
Give those both a like. We'll be posting updates and posting the episode as soon as it's up on YouTube. Again, thanks for listening.
And also give the YouTube channel that we posted on a like.
Yep.
Not a like, a subscribe. Give the video a like.
And then subscribe to the channel.
Bang.
Too easy.
See you then.
Thanks for listening. I've been Andrew.
I've been Lachie.
And
this has been Under the Covers.
Good night. Nailed it.
Yep.